Poisonrana.
First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for upNXT, postwrestling.com, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, whatever podcast app you're using.
And youtube.com/postwrestling. Hello, everybody. Hello, postmarks. Hello, upNXTperts.
Right. Welcome. It's Tuesday night, so that means we watch NXT
And we talk about it.
You know why? Because we're your NXT friends. We'll always be your NXT friends, and we're here on the Post Wrestling feed. Hello, everybody. We hope your Tuesday is going swell, or maybe it's your Wednesday morning, your Thursday morning. I don't know, but whatever it is.
Maybe you're listening to this 10 years from now.
That'd be weird, but
It would be, but maybe. Who knows?
you just wanted to know what happened on our thoughts on this NXT.
Hey, we have an exact show of that where we are 10 years ago
Was
doing
next,
the same
yeah.
thing.
It is
So
true, yeah.
maybe.
It is WrestleMania season, stand and deliver season. It's just wrestling season. Wrestling is just taken over
Everywhere.
and consumed our life more than it ever has, and we allow it to, and that's okay because we're all just a bunch of marks and we love it and it's fun. I say that because we were just at a wrestling show. We're currently like doing different wrestling events we're going to be at. We're podcasting about wrestling. We're buying tickets for wrestling. We're planning wrestling trips. We're doing just everything.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Absolutely. These next few days, the announcement of Forbidden Door,
In the 6.
which we talked about on our last episode of Poisonrana, which we do every Sunday.
Yeah, if you're a fan of us, hit that subscribe, search Poisonrana in your podcast app, because we have our own feed with our own shows all over that feed. And just this past Sunday, we did a show talking all about everything going on, including, Forbidden Door being announced, which we're super excited about.
Hopefully by the end of this week, we'll have some tickets for it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then can start planning.
Yeah, we can tell you, look, we got a WrestleMania watch party in Toronto, April 1st and 2nd. Gabby's, King Street West, Poisonrana.ca for tickets. They're flying. We're going to fill out this bar for 2 nights with a bunch of us just watching and partying and watching WrestleMania. It's going to be a blast. But now that Forbidden Door is announced in our backyard, literally, it's time to, I guess, say a forbidden pour, if you will.
Absolutely, yeah. It's in the summer as well.
Oh, yeah.
Summer in the 6, Forbidden Door.
Do it, guys.
Drinks with us.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
We're cooking something up. We're definitely going to be chatting, hopefully with John away. Maybe we'll be doing something. So we're super excited. But we got to get through WrestleMania first. So looking forward to seeing you peeps, any listeners out there. And if not, we'll be there in spirit for WrestleMania weekend in Toronto, our watch party. We've been flyering around the city. We went to GCW, worst behavior on Sunday. We even flyered around there. We got an interview up with Gringo Loco.
Yeah, check out. I got to sit down with Gringo for about 10 minutes and just shoot the shit. So check out our Poisonrana YouTube for that.
Yeah, go on the YouTube and check out the interview with the Base God. We'll be talking and seeing him again in Toronto when he faces Commander.
Yeah, one of his spots against Jack Cartwheel, I keep on seeing
It was
retweeted
nuts.
on
The
Twitter.
power bomb on the
Yeah.
apron. Oh my god. The Sasuke special into the power bomb.
Caught
The
in
base
the
bomb.
electric chair.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So good.
Crazy. So check out that interview over on our YouTube page. We'll be checking out Gringo versus Commander in a few weeks at Demand Lucha in Toronto as well. Would really recommend checking that out because it may or may not be the one of the last times you might be able to see him before
Commander,
he's somewhere
yeah,
else.
absolutely.
So definitely can't wait for that heater for sure. Demand Lucha's a vibe, but we had fun at GCW. It was a GCW crowd. It lived up to the expectations of going to
Did it?
Meaning it smelt like burnt toast and BO the second you walk in.
Yeah, that it did. Yeah, the show I thought was okay.
Yeah, it had some stuff I really liked and then had some stuff that I just couldn't care for. But that's wrestling, right? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I felt maybe it's certain rules of the building or being in Canada or whatever, but I kind of like, I'm going to a GCW show. I'm expecting something kind of a bit more deathmatch.
Yeah, Montreal last week got like crazy table spots. And,
it didn't feel any different from any other indie.
Well, we got a naked man.
We did get the naked
Sexy
man.
Eddie, who blew up Twitter because people are so mad that. I mean, he's been doing this.
How dare he be naked?
How dare he be naked? Probably for like the 9,000th time doing this spot. He's from Canada.
Yeah,
I've seen him on the Indies before, but wow, that was nuts. I think Gringo and Cartwheel had my favorite match.
That was my match.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
I did like the main, and I did like
Speedball is awesome, man.
Yamashita.
Oh, new favorite wrestler.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was the only like death match spot the whole night. She got the skewers like pounded into her forehead and then just crimson mask everywhere. But I felt like the venue is cool, but they didn't do it properly where everyone could see. So a lot of people were pretty mad.
When we went before, we could see fine.
Yeah, I remember they had the ring was raised.
The ring raised a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was tough to see. Like I got a couple of spots where I could get a good sight line, but it was difficult.
I think GCW could run the Sweaty Ted Reeves Arena. That's where Ring of Honor used to run. I feel like they could fill that because I think there was a lot of people wanting to go, but they were sold out. I think you could have fit way more people at a different one. Yeah. But I see them coming back. It was a success for sure. Got to hang out with John Pollock, who's agreed.
We kind of just crashed their meal. I don't know if they were best pleased. We were just like,
I didn't realize that. Yeah. As soon as I walked in, I was like, oh, this is an actual just restaurant. Oh, they're eating dinner. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, we already sat down. And then I was like, all right, well, we got to hang out with WH Park, who was having
spicy margaritas, motherfucker.
You need to follow our Instagram for great stories of when we go to these things. But WH Park, the legend, who's asked us, he's demanded that we do a best match ever Muto.
Yeah,
because we've done the Great Muta, but now because he's going to the Hall of Fame, WH wants that second best match ever. So that is coming soon, probably in the next month or so.
So yeah, on our Patreon, we often do this show called Best Match Ever, where we talk about a kind of wrestler's career and their greatest matches, or maybe the best matches of a certain match type, like Hell in a Cell or TLC. And we did one for the Great Muta, so we kind of have to do one for Keiji Muto. But now I'm thinking,
who's next?
Who's next? Exactly.
We'll get to NXT, but let's talk about the important things going on in wrestling.
Bill Goldberg, a free agent.
So this goes two ways, right? He's no longer with the WWE, so he shows up at the end of Carmelo versus Braun to challenge versus Bron Breakker.
Bron versus Goldberg would be awesome, and surely a dream for Bron. But I'm thinking, I don't know. We kind of talked about this before on Poisonrana.
Yeah.
He saw that rebar mitzvah.
Yeah, that's exactly.
And he was like, I never got a rebar mitzvah.
It's really crazy that we discuss we were just doing what we do and talking shit. And I said that MJF is like, other than Goldberg, he's now the GOAT Jewish wrestler of all time. And you were like, yo, imagine them like together against each other.
Double or nothing.
I think
both of them.
All I know is TK has now tweeted some things, joking around, stirring the pot a little. But I mean, who owns TNT? It's still Turner or whatever, right? I mean, Bill's got to come home.
He's going to go home to all his friends.
Retire. Yeah, go. Bill's going.
Jeff's there. Sting's there. Tony's there.
Where's his relation with Jeff?
Jeff Jarrett was in.
Oh, Jeff Jarrett, right? Yeah. Sorry, I thought you meant Hardy. I was like, wow, what a dream match that would be. But yeah, Goldberg should come in and just have a new streak, a TNT streak, and then finally like Hobbs or Wardlow beats him.
Like just for 3 months. He doesn't even have to be there long. Just go in, end with a match with Kenny or whoever.
Kenny Goldberg.
Orange Cassidy Goldberg.
Goldberg, anyone. Really.
Like if he's up for a laugh, if he's up for a good time, I think he absolutely should.
Wow, look at us.
He would bring eyes to AEW.
Like 100%.
And I know the purists out there are going like, no, but what if, guys? What if?
Like these people are. Don't forget, wrestlers are real people. Like once it's over for these people, like they're not going to be able to do this. Like he could still go. So I'm for Goldberg and AEW.
Gage in there with Hook.
Dude,
right?
Like never say never, but it is eerily that we were just going off on Sunday about how we would love to see this, and then Fightful reporting, oh, Goldberg's a free agent. Does that mean 60 days? Does that mean like
G1?
Shingo Goldberg?
Like
New Japan put out a video teasing like a new person's coming soon, someone new, and it just had like someone's boots walking I don't know if it's just a young lion or Danielson or something, but I did not get Goldberg out of that. But could you imagine? Goldberg's wrestled. He knows the Tokyo Dome very well.
Forbidden Door. For some reason, Goldberg keeps on showing up at the Scotiabank shows.
Yeah,
I've seen Goldberg wrestle way more than I should have.
Yeah, me too.
So yeah, Forbidden Door. What? Goldberg Shingo? Is that
Goldberg Sting
Goldberg
needs to happen
Ishii?
again. Goldberg Ishii. Wow. This is nuts, man. This is crazy. So more on that in development. Be sure to you know we love Goldberg here.
Greatest ever wrestler in the WWE.
Greatest wrestler ever in the world.
Yeah. This is exciting stuff.
This is fantastic stuff. Like,
so best match ever, Goldberg coming in April on the Patreon.
Should we just look at it? Should we do what we did with Danielson and Rey Mysterio?
WCW Goldberg?
Just WWE Goldberg.
WWE Goldberg.
No, I think just Goldberg. We could watch like 100 of those matches in the span of what we usually do because his matches are probably really short.
Yeah.
So, yeah, damn.
I think there's one against DDP, isn't there? One against Steiner. Gonna be the good one.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, what would even be in that? But yeah, some people in the chat are agreeing with us that they would love to see Goldberg in AEW, including Leonie in the chat who says Goldberg versus Sonata for the IWGP Championship will happen this year. It could.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds insane.
I mean,
but...
Goldberg's Tokyo Dome entrance is one of the greatest.
Yeah, one of the best wrestling entrances for sure is when he's like across the street.
He's in a golf cart.
He's like in Tokyo Dome City across the street. They're like, it's time. He's like, okay, hold on. And it took like 10 minutes for him to finally get down there.
Yeah, he's headbutting every door along the way.
Goldberg with the chains off.
Forbidden Door. That's the video. Him headbutting open the door.
Right. Yeah.
Chains off, but he's just
like he's back from the like now he can like wrestle the way he wants to wrestle. Yeah. Right. He can kick people in the head if he wants.
In the head. Yeah.
Goldberg's gonna wrestle for AEW while Bret Hart's just at his bar like. Which I do want to check out, the Hitman Bar, but yeah, just craziness that Goldberg's gonna be wrestling, maybe, possibly.
Confirmed.
We don't, yeah, not confirmed at all, but yeah, we're just dreaming, we're just hoping. It's I would choose him over Nia Jax, that's for sure. That's the other thing there's rumors swirling.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Nia Jax to AEW being
no,
talked?
I hope that's not true.
I hope not.
Yeah. Well, we mentioned we're doing a WrestleMania watch party April 1st and 2nd. However, if you are in the Toronto area and you want to see us and hang out with us or win a chance to go to WrestleMania this year, well, this Sunday we will be at the Awesome Toy Show outside Toronto in Mississauga, and we are going to be hosting a Poisonrana WWE 2K23 tournament. And yes, the winner gets many chances to win a whole like trip to WrestleMania. $200 cash prizes and some insane prizes also, and this is going to be crazy. We don't know what we got ourselves into this Sunday, but yeah,
we better get a hold of this game, haven't we?
Yeah, we better get good at it. Can we enter our own company?
I don't think so. I think there's going to be enough demand.
And we're banning Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns is banned.
Yeah, unless you know the password. Unless you know the Roman Reigns password, which we'll give out next week. And if anyone comes up to us and knows the password, maybe I'll let you play.
Next week. It's on Sunday.
Oh right. What's a good password for the toy show? Dusty Rhodes was my father. That's the code.
No, if you know who the finest is.
The finest?
Yeah. Throwback question.
That's a deep cut for listeners.
It should be. To get Roman Reigns,
he's not even in the game, that guy.
Exactly. That's why.
What about like you know, Johnny Wade? They're
Didn't we used to joke he was related to The Rock?
Yeah, he wasn't, but Johnny Wade did Yeet My Frog. We could do Leap My Frog.
Leap My Frog.
Yeah, if you come up and say that to us this Sunday, you could play as Roman Reigns.
But then what if 16 people said we just do Roman v Roman?
Maybe. Good. But whatever. It'll happen.
Is that what we should do? Just get download multiple versions of Roman Reigns and just do a 16.
Not a bad idea.
16-man Roman Reigns tournament.
Yeah. Go to awesometoyshow.ca because it's pretty cheap to get tickets to this thing. And if you're like a memorabilia buff of just anything pop culture, there's going to be a lot of toys there. So yeah, we're going to be hanging out. We're going to be chilling there. Our Big Tom's going to be with us selling some merch as well. I think some replica titles, some masks, and just a fun time over at the Awesome Toy Show. Chris Van Vliet's going to be there. Some Impact wrestlers are going to be there. So it's going to be a fun time. So this Sunday, Toronto area, Awesome Toy Show.
Absolutely. Can't wait. Love to see you there.
Yes. And I guess now we can discuss some some wrestling, some NXT. We are on the road to Stand and Deliver. Should be noted that because it's at a 1 p.m. start time next Saturday on the 1st. Right, is that already next weekend? Not this weekend.
Yes.
Yeah. So we will be going live as soon as Stand and Deliver ends on the post wrestling feed on this YouTube as well. So look forward to our Stand and Deliver post show. So if you are watching during the day, come out and hang with us on the YouTube because we will be chatting all about it before we run off to our watch party. And then Patreon shows wise, because it's WrestleMania season, we just did a review with John Cena over on our Patreon covering the forgotten WrestleMania 11, which was, oh boy,
Salt and Pepper, NFL,
Jonathan Taylor Thomas, Pamela Anderson. It was nuts. So that was a fun show. But if that one isn't up your alley, maybe WrestleMania 19 is, because I don't know about you, but I'm a crack addict because I'm addicted to cracking skulls. Is that the lyrics?
Something like that.
Yeah. Limp Bizkit performing not once but twice on this show.
I haven't seen this show for a long time. I'm about halfway through.
Yeah.
I love this WrestleMania.
Yeah,
this has got to be one of the best ones.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't wait to talk all about it.
As picked by family member Jake from the Windy City, so we'll also be chatting with him a little bit about the show. But yeah, we're going to be reviewing this, and I can't wait. WrestleMania 19 is also one of my favorites, and we've never looked at it before. So that's coming out this week on the Patreon. Lots of WrestleMania stuff, lots of movies. It's like $1 a week, essentially, when you sign up for $5 a month to become a friend. Patreon.com/Poisonrana, and there's like 500 podcasts in that catalog. Go check it out and help support us because we'll be buying a lot of wrestling in the next few weeks, whether it's streaming and this and that, because the GCW lineup, some of the stuff they got going on, man, wrestling's going to consume my life in about a week or so. And I know a lot of people are going to be feeling the same, where it's like, all right, get your snacks, your pre-rolls, your drinks ready for just a lot of wrestling watching. So we're here for you for the podcast afterwards.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about some NXT.
Let's do it.
NXT from March 21st, Tuesday, live from Florida, the CWC. We start off with a recap of Johnny Gargano and Grayson Waller, how Waller went to the home, Johnny Gargano, and they got in a fight, and he beat him up in front of his wife. No, stop.
No, stop.
Please.
Grayson.
Why was that baby awake that late at night? That's another good question there. So Gargano got beat up right in front of his wife on his front lawn. Very
very
sad situation here. So he's pretty pissed off, and we'll hear from him tonight. We also get a little update. I think they mentioned this in another segment, but it is interesting how they worded the update on the Roxanne Perez situation.
Yeah.
They said, hey, she's hurt, but she'll be back. And then they made a little line about we don't know when.
Yeah, they've made it quite clear the title isn't vacated.
Yeah.
And it's like this match is happening at Stand and Deliver whether she's healthy or not, but we all know she's
I
final.
feel like she will be added to this match. We start off the show with Pretty Deadly, the hosts of Stand and Deliver.
Sorry, Stand and Deliver.
As every time they say it that way, which is a nice little touch. They come out here, they say they're the two tastiest snacks here in NXT, and that's why they are the hosts, and that's why they look nice, and they always smell nice. Yes, boy. They say we're going to officially wipe the footage of us losing last week, or getting thrown through the table last week, and those guys, Gallus and, Mello and Bron, attacking us from behind like cowards they are. And they say, we got to talk about our outfits for Stand and Deliver, when they're interrupted by Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. They come out to talk that talk. Trick was on fire here, already out the gate, like, yo, is my mic on? Turn my mic on, and just starts going off on them. Calls Pretty Deadly a bunch of bobbleheads and says that last week Carmelo and Bron offered you two some table service, and that you better keep Mello's name out your mouth. And Mello says, yeah, I don't want any of this cute stuff, Pretty Deadly. And they say, well, we are cute, but we don't even have to try. And Trick says, well, why don't you try not butting into our business? Because you bring us some bad juju. So we'll talk. You talk your talk, but you better walk your walk. Got him. Then they say that, you know what? We've had enough of you. We're going to have a tag team match tonight, Leia. And it's going to be Carmelo Hayes taking on Pretty Deadly. And Mello's going to team with, and Trick says, Bron Breakker.
Yeah, and we assume this is leading to Trick and Mello, and
yeah.
Trick is building it up that way as well. And Mello kind of gives him a look like, what are you doing? Booking me matches.
So he goes, it'll be the best thing for you, don't worry. And Mello's a little shook there, but Pretty Deadly agreed to the match, and it's set up for our main event.
Well, then Pretty Deadly attack.
Well, they get mad at them. They attack them, and then that's when Braun does come out and then sends them flying to the outside.
Yeah, he launches Kit to the outside, and he barely hits Elton and goes crashing to the floor. This looks pretty painful.
Yeah, he's clearly okay.
He's okay because he works the main event, but this looked nuts.
So then it's Braun and Melo standing tall, looking at each other, and it is official now that the match will take place. But Melo is still a little like,
Braun's
not sure.
like, I don't want any excuses out of you. I'm making sure you're 100%.
Yeah. So that's our main event, and can they coexist?
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed when we knew Ilja and JD were going to be on the show, and I was kind of hoping that would main event it. And they even go as the night goes on to be like, hey, let's not do that thing where it's can we coexist. Yeah. But it was a bit play by numbers, this whole setup for tonight.
When we come back from the first break, it's Melo and Trick now approaching Braun. Like, sorry, no, this is just Trick and Melo at first. And he says, I don't want that coexist shit. And he's cut off. And he's like, look, don't worry. If you team with Braun, it means you get a front row seat at what he can do. And then you'll know the cheat codes. I'll take notes for you. He's like us. We could just send Melo some notes if we wanted to. Melo, hit us up. Big fan. So Trick says, I'll be ringside.
They'll be too useful, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe not from this
It'll be like pages and pages on fucking Kiana and Brooks Jensen. And then Bron Breakker. Spear. Military press. 1, 2, 3.
So he says that he'll be ready, and it's all it is. It's all it's going to be. We go to our next match, our first match, I guess you could say.
I thought Trick was great in this whole opening. He's so smooth on the mic, and I love how like Melo's moving into this more babyface role, and Trick is still kind of scheming and plotting behind him.
So the next match is a match. The winner goes on to the Stand and Deliver Women's Championship ladder match here, and it's Indi Hartwell going up against Tiffany Stratton. It's Tiff time. And these two go at it, and we get some pretty good back and forth. Eventually, Tiff does these crazy handsprings into a back elbow in the corner. Very Great Muta-esque. Then there's a series of roll-ups back and forth for near falls as they go to break. When we come back, it's Tiff still beating down on Indi. And then there's like a cave-in from Tiffany, essentially. When Indi was like seated, it just looked nasty, but she kicks out. Indi comes back and counters a handspring and hits a back suplex on Tiff. Tiff comes back, though, with this fast power slam, but then runs into a spine buster. Eventually, when Indi gains control, Tiff kicks out of that and then he gets her up into the Samoan drop thing, but does the front cartwheel senton.
It's like the Yukon Escape setup.
She does it more like how Sheamus does that senton, but it basically is the Yukon Escape because as she lays her out, she then hits the prettiest moonsault ever.
It looks so nice.
It really is the prettiest moonsault ever.
It's beautiful. The triple jump up to the top, and then the arch she gets on it. Yeah, it looked really nice.
So the Tiffany epiphany is that she's going to Stand and Deliver here tonight.
I think that's the right move. Indi has maybe a setup for a change of character a bit later on, but it is a shame. I'm not surprised. Indi's kind of been floating around for quite a while. Tiffany's absolutely the one who should be in the match. And that moonsault's beautiful. But I think Stratton has come on such a long way really quickly. I thought she looked good here against Indi. Booker was absolutely going off on commentary because there's two things Booker doesn't like, open challenges and ladder matches. So Booker's going off how he doesn't like ladder matches, but he says legends have been made out of them, like that great Razor Ramon versus 1, 2, 3 Kid. And then after the commercial break, Vic goes, I think Book got too caught up in the moment there. I think he meant that Razor Ramon versus Shawn Michaels ladder match. He goes, nah, I mean Razor Ramon versus 1, 2, 3 Kid. I'm like, okay.
Yep, okay, Book. He's like, no, I'm pretty sure. Don't correct me.
He's just doing that thing where you're mixing two things together. Yeah, he's thinking of the upset win
over Razor. Yeah, and Razor with Shawn. Shawn's in the headset. Like, make sure you come back from break and correct him. It's me, goddamn.
And Book's like headset off. Like, no. It's 1, 2, 3 Kid.
Book's like googling it halfway through the show. Like, didn't happen.
Those great Hell in a Cell matches, like King of the Ring, Undertaker, 1, 2, 3 Kid when he came off the cell.
Yeah. And Liv Morgan's been in the most elimination chambers.
No one's been in as many.
It's so funny that like that Vic, like that was a moment before the break, and then they come back several minutes later, and Vic brings it up like, "Hey, just so that you know, you were fucking wrong." And Book's like, "No, I wasn't."
He was so sure that I had to be like, "Wait, am I wrong? Was there ever a ladder match between them?" Couldn't see anything.
No, he clearly got them put together. Yeah, the Booker effect. When you take two things and you're pretty sure they're the same.
What is it? Sinbad's in that genie film or whatever. Where it's Shaq.
That's a real movie. That's a real fucking movie. Sinbad is in a
Booker, it's just X-Pac is in all these great matches.
But you know, Booker was once a legend, and you can hear us talk about him on WrestleMania 19 review, where it took a long time for him to kick out of that pedigree. Or didn't kick out of that pedigree. We go to our next segment. We're at the Big Daddy Bar, which, shout out, I'm blanking on who the listener is, but he always lets us know the different areas in Florida where they taped these things. And this is a real bar. We have found it, so go search it. Maybe this is a great stop if you're ever visiting Florida.
If you ever want a match booked at a premium live event, just go to this bar.
Yeah, you ever want a title shot? Just go play pool with these guys.
Play pool and dance. Have a great time.
The Gallus lads, the Gallus boys, they're always on top, and they're at Big Daddy's bar here when they say you want a break. When the Creed brothers walk into the bar, and the Gallus boys are like, "Oh, what are you guys doing here?" And they say, you know, "Well, we heard we get title shots if we come play pool with you guys, so we want to play some pool. We want to, you know, we want to drink with the Gallus boys. We want to
put Indi shit behind us, and we really wanted to hit some balls."
So Gallus are like, "Oh yeah, you want to drink? I guess you guys want some milk, eh?" And they're like, "Oh no." And Brutus says, "I'll have what you're having, but Julius is gonna stick to water." Julius is ripped. So
Julius doesn't touch cards.
I don't think so, but they did him so dirty in 2K23. He posted a picture. He's like, "Come on, guys."
Really?
He's like, "I'm jacked. Like, come on."
Oh, is he tiny?
They just didn't like put the effort into, I think, him, because he is someone who is a unit. He's a monster. So Gallus agrees that they'll play with the Creeds here, and well, the Creeds get spanked in some pool here, and they lose, and they say, you know, 8-ball was never our game, but let's play some darts. So the Gallus lad, I've never heard anyone refer to darts as this.
Arrows.
Throw some arrows, eh?
And Wolfgang says it like 4 times.
Arrows.
He's like, I didn't have you down as an archer. Oh, throwing some more arrows there.
Pure Gallus. So the Creeds are actually like beating the Gallus lads at the arrows here.
Wolfgang is terrible at darts.
I feel like I'm not very good.
No, but like, I mean, look at him. He should be good at darts. He looks like a dart player. But he's like, he did say darts isn't really my game, but he's like just not even hitting the board properly.
Yeah, I don't trust myself with actual darts. Like, this is those machine. These are like plastic things that go into the thing that they're playing here. But whenever I've been at a bar, like in Japan, they're really popular to play darts, and like some of them have real. I don't remember what movie it is when someone gets a dart in someone's head.
Multiple.
And I'm like, I don't want to be that guy.
You're okay.
Yeah, but like I am not good at it. They go wild and fly. I'm really terrible at darts, so I can understand. Man. But then I watched Ted Lasso, and you know, you never know who could be a good dart player.
Have you started the new season yet?
No, I haven't. But like, famous dart scene in that show.
Oh, true.
Speaking of Ted Lasso, spoke at the White House yesterday.
Ted Lasso did?
Yeah, legit. Like the whole cast.
Is Trump arrested? What's going on there?
That's what the press conference was.
That's why Ted Lasso was at the White House.
We did it, believe. Okay. Anyways, back to Big Daddies.
I don't follow the real world. I'm just, you know, wrestling.
Yeah. Meanwhile, at Big Daddies, the Creeds smashed Gallus in darts, and they're like, "Oh, like I guess it's pretty even, and we better find a way to even this out because it's 1-1." And the Creeds say, "I know a way we can even the things: a title shot at Stand and Deliver." And they say, "Ah, you archers, all right." So they go to leave the bar. When they do leave the bar, this is like playing Grand Theft Auto here. Tony D'Angelo and Stax are just hanging out.
The same idea. They knew that Big Daddies is where you go for title
and they're like, "Hey, what's going on? You guys playing? Like, you're drinking? We want to party too." So they all go back into the bar, and then it like cuts away. They're laughing and they're like, "Stand and Deliver. Next round's on the Don and the Underboss. We're gonna stand and deliver some business." That's not even it's not even that. Like,
we're gonna stand and deliver some business.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Then they do the classic mob boss laugh as they all go back. No, get in the bar. So,
Shall we just talk about the second bit now? while we're
I
on
guess
this
so. Yeah.
ridiculous segment?
So after they're drinking and like time goes by later on here, where finally we see them. I'm trying to find where
There's
it
a bunch
must.
of arrows on the floor.
It must arrows.
Yeah, that's what they called them, right?
All right, like literally by the end of the night. This is
Yeah.
like the second last thing in the show, but we go back to the bar and it's all of them just like laid out drunk, like the pool cues all around the triangles around Brutus's head. They're lying on the floor. There's bottles everywhere.
All of them had very bad drunk hungover acting. I thought.
Yeah,
I didn't believe any of them.
like
They're like, oh,
they're playing hungover, but they
they're
should still be
playing-
drunk.
They should still just be drunk. Yeah.
So they're like, oh, this is like a fever dream, and they say, you know, this is a nice place, this bar, but it needs a broom. And they say, Tony, don't you have a cleaning service? And he's like, yeah, but that one's a different kind of cleaning service. And then they say, hey, look, we've partied a lot. I don't really quite understand this, but hey, we partied a lot. We played pool and darts and drank. I guess we get a title shot too, right? And they're like, yeah, triple threat. So there you have it. Triple threat tag team title match announced for Stand and Deliver. And we had to see this amazing bar segment.
This was terrible.
I
Call me old fashioned, but I like my title matches, feuds being set up. Not
could have done
just
something.
if there wasn't any drama or anything. It was just these lads having a fun time at the bar
Yeah.
and agreeing to a match. Because everyone's a babyface now, I guess.
Yeah.
These three teams.
Everyone seems babyface in this.
Yeah, I find it a bit. This doesn't really work for me in wrestling.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like all of them are trying to be funny and cool, so all of them don't seem that way.
None of them do.
Yeah,
no.
so there's like something that's just not clicking. I think the match will be good. Don't get me wrong. I would have just preferred the 2-on-2, but
I get, and maybe it's more important for NXT because it's developmental more than your main roster with trying to get everyone on the show. But every match, like bar your Waller and Gargano in the main event, are multi-match. And I feel we've had triple threat tags for the last, I don't know how many.
or four ways as well.
Or four ways for the last so many pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this is a very lazy way.
It was a weird way to go to about this.
Like, from the Creed's point of view, they've just been going for 6 months, it feels like, with Indi Sheer, going back and forth, with Ivy going like, no, just go for the titles.
Right.
And now they finally put Indi Sheer behind him. So, should we have Paul down at Big Daddy's and get a title shot?
Yeah,
Seems a bit easy.
it's just like they should just be bad guys. Real at
Who,
this
Creed?
The Gallus. I feel like they're dropping the titles to the Creeds. I feel like they're not going to be going forward as champion, which they found a groove, I think, wrestling wise. I definitely think they've improved for sure, but to have them in this weird baby face but not baby face role is a little bizarre.
They're just dull.
Yeah, it's like I just don't understand what they are trying to to be here. Like Brawling Brutes, like Kmart version, essentially.
Yeah.
Scottish version. I could understand them more though. I'll give them that credit. We then go, where were we? Well, that was the big bar.
Lyra then runs up a bunch of stairs.
Yeah, we cut to this video for Lyra, Valkyria, and Bird Lady, for those keeping score at home. Bird Lady's in this empty building. She's running upstairs, training. She's running up that hill. There's just epic music playing as she then jumps through and breaks through a window. I don't know if that was quite necessary in your training, but looked cool. And then she says, LA, get ready, as she looks out a window of this like empty building as there's like digital birds now flying outside as she just stares. She says, get ready to soar.
So he's flying to Stand and Deliver.
Yeah, right. She's in a match later tonight to see if she will be soaring to LA.
I almost felt this tipped it off. I mean, I figured she'd win the match anyway, but it just felt a bit weird playing this before the match.
Yeah. I was like, oh, she's already in, right?
Yeah.
Oh, she's not. We go to Gigi backstage with Mackenzie. She says, JC, I know you got hurt, but sorry, not sorry. You kind of brought that on yourself. So now you can watch at home when I go to LA and win the ladder match. And last time I was in a ladder match, I won. So I'm willing to do what it takes. When Tiffany Stratton walks in, she says, love the confidence, but your chances just went from possible to screwed, just like everyone else in this match, because I'm in it, and that title is mine. And I just had a Tiffany epiphany. I'm going to the Tiffy top. Toodles. And walks off.
I feel like there could be something. I definitely see Roxanne in this. I'm starting to question whether this is a way to get the title off Roxanne, maybe,
Right.
in this match, and maybe have it. Tiffany wins this thing with Roxanne chasing to get it back, perhaps. Either way, I think you're coming out of Stand and Deliver, and that's probably Tiffany.
I would think so. Yeah, Tiffany is someone who's picked up so fast. Like the match earlier was pretty good. Her promos, her character, like everything has been hitting. Like
I think her character's enough alone to carry this title.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah, I see her becoming NXT Women's Champ, whether it's at Stand and Deliver or at least this year. But by next year, she would be big star in WWE main roster. Absolutely, no questions asked. To the Tiffy top, we go to Wes Lee, who comes out to the middle of the ring. He says, how you guys doing? He goes, do you guys like my open challenges?
Yeah.
Everyone says, yeah. Probably not Booker T.
No.
For no reason. He then says, people keep asking me why do I keep doing this? Why do I roll the dice? One day my number's going to come. He says, well, I need to prove it to the guy in the mirror. I need to prove it to myself. And that's why I have this was it a 5-way at the pay-per-view when Dragon Lee comes out. No relation to Wes Lee.
Are you sure?
We're not quite sure.
Okay.
No, not quite possible. They could be cousins. Dragon Lee comes out and says, thank you all. It's nice to be here. And it says, it's nice to meet you, Wes. He speaks a little in Spanish, but when he returns to English, he says, I want chaos. I love it. And I want to be in Los Angeles, and I want to be against you. So basically stakes his claim for a spot in this match. And Wes is like, yeah, absolutely, you're in. When JD McDonough comes out, and he goes, why are you giving this guy a match? You should be looking at my match tonight, and I should be added into the match. And why don't you sit ringside while I rip Ilja apart? So that kind of sets up for our next match. I
kind of like Wes has this. It's almost like Orange Cassidy's attitude with the international title, where he's like, "Yeah, you want a match? Sure." But Wes is like so happy about it. Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can have a match. You can have a match. I thought Dragon Lee sounded pretty good.
He did, yeah.
For a first promo stuff, I thought it sounded decent.
I thought so too.
Then felt very like right away seeing him sat by commentary for the next match. It felt like, oh right, you're right in WWE now already.
Welcome to WWE. Your debut, you sat in a chair. Yeah. I feel like you didn't even need to see him. You could have just put him into the match.
Yeah.
For the first thing, it would have given that thing. But
we had the interview last week.
Yeah.
So I guess they've kind of debuted him.
We see a commercial for Ms. WrestleMania the musical. It gave me very MJF Chris Jericho vibes.
So is this just to promote WrestleMania, or is he doing a musical thing at WrestleMania? He's hosting it.
I think it shows he's doing like a live musical. He's the new Flow Rider. They
so
couldn't get the
do
weekend
like
live.
a Tony Award style open to Wrestle. That would be pretty fun.
I think that's what he's.
I think
do.
That should be great.
What award did MJF get? Did he get like an honorary Tony or something? He got something.
Not a Tony, no. He got like New York Times.
Some award for that segment, right? Yeah. It looked very similar, but it's show business, singing and stuff. But
who could you have involved?
Some LA people. Jonathan Taylor Thomas, Pamela Anderson. I don't know who. LAM. Kim Kardashian. Any other Kardashian.
I'm trying to think things in the Oscars and things when they
Oscars,
go through the audience and the celebrities sat in the crowd.
Brendan Fraser, get him involved.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I don't know. There could be. I don't know.
I hope it's good. Probably won't. Be a good way to kick off the show.
We see Indi Hartwell. This is from NXT Anonymous.
Yeah.
And she's pissed. She's walking around backstage. She can't believe she lost her match when she sees Zoe Stark watching her. And she says, what are you looking at? Zoe says, well, I'm not looking at the next champ. So Indi still treading on, am I a heel? Everything sucks. She's just that like.
She just needs to find Dexter again, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Because she's kind of been this moany babyface for quite a while.
Yeah.
And then they positioned her in that, was it the Iron Survivor, where commentary just kept on saying, oh, big fan favorite Indi Hartwell, and been acting like that. Now she's losing again, kicking around stuff. I don't know what they're doing with Indi. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what I'd do, like if I was booking her. Like she's very, very lost there, and I feel she's starting to become a bit of an Ilja, where she's just going to be here forever.
Remember her friend who was released? What was her name? Oh man.
Yeah.
She's now in GCW.
Stephanie Lander.
Yeah, she's now with Ryder in GCW.
Right.
She wasn't at the show in Toronto, but she's like his new muscle, which is pretty cool to see that. But Indi, yeah, she's good. It's just like not sure. I know the index thing worked, so why not? Would you just run with that, even if you're just like managing each other?
Yeah.
You know, something like that. I don't know. Maybe they don't want to do that. Well, we go to another segment, which we know we were waiting for this one. Kiana James approaches. Well, sorry, I think it's Fallon approaching Kiana like, you witch, you know what you've done. I can't believe you. And Kiana's like, yo, what are you talking about? She goes, I know about Sebastian. Kiana acts a little scared, a little shocked. She goes, I can explain. She says, save it. I don't know what you're trying to do, but I went to your office. She says, what? You went to my office? How'd you get past security? I know how to get past security. And I looked at your stuff and I saw the card. I know that you're cheating on Brooks, and I'm going to tell him. Brooks' family, I can't believe you. And Kiana's like, no, don't screw this up. Don't screw this. Like, we have a title match. You could ruin everything. So tensions rising between the women's tag champions. Do you think Brooks watches the show?
Clearly, I don't know if he has a TV.
He's a millennial. He's like 20. He doesn't have cable, so
yeah. So maybe he can't figure out how to watch wrestling.
Yeah. You should ask Cody.
But mate, I mean, when I do you listen back to the show anymore? After we record? I
listened back to when me and Jordan were talking about horses.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Anyone would.
But I mean, I haven't listened back to the show for a long time.
So maybe he's like,
once I'm done work, I switch off.
He's like, I'm not even at Stand and Deliver. I could take a few weeks off. But Kiana's his girl. He should be there.
And Kiana didn't deny it here.
No, Sebastian.
And she was like,
well, we go from the soap opera drama to a pretty awesome wrestling match. We definitely recommend checking this one out. Ilja Dragunov versus JD McDonough. NXT UK collides here tonight. Dragunov famously beat Dragunov. Sorry, he beat JD. Ilja beat JD to send him packing here. He then followed him. They had the storyline last week saying like, hey, like you sent me packing. Now you followed me. What's the deal?
Don't quit me.
Something visas. Something rip NXT UK. And we're here tonight. So we kind of assumed that the winner of this would be added to that North American title match. But as soon as you saw Dragon Lee and Wes and all them chilling, sitting there, you're like, I know where this is going. But a pretty sweet match. Right away, Dragunov out the gate just hits crazy strikes to JD. Dragunov hits this pump boot right to the face and then just starts hitting him with these like forearms and smashes. JD comes back and lays him out and hits this crazy slingshot tope spinning spiral tap into the ring. Just insane. They then are back up to their feet, like striking and exchanges. There's German suplexes with bridges. There's the Constantine special, which is just nuts. It's definitely one of my favorite lariats there. But JD kicks out of it. There's then an overthrow by the hair from JD from the top rope for a near fall. And then JD throws him out the ring as Dragunov takes a nasty back bump over the apron as they go to break. When we come back, JD is just putting the boots to him and hits this nasty looking DDT, but Ilja gets up and kicks out. And then they're just chopping away at each other, but never have a chop battle with this crazy Russian because he just starts leveling JD. His chest, in a matter of seconds, the guy's chest went different colors because this guy starts doing the Kabashi chops in the corner. He's doing all that. And then I don't know what to call this, but the Dragunov suplex, the three-handled credenzel or whatever.
The deadlift, low waist lock.
Groin lift.
Pick up, and then just the way he slammed him. This slam had a thud. Yeah. Putting his entire body weight into it. Looked awesome.
JD kicks out of that, somehow comes back with German suplexes of his own. I think he hits 3 of them, but then a roundhouse from Ilja. They're just going back and forth. Ilja goes for his running cannon. What is it, the headbutt, the bullet?
The torpedo.
Yeah,
Moscow.
He goes for that, but in midair is countered into a choke. Oh man, just beautiful here. He gets out of that. They're both killing each other. And then when Dragunov gets to his feet, Ilja stands up and JD is laying down and kind of looks up at him, but his body is lifted up. Dragunov comes down, cocks back. This is the real Superman.
It's almost
forearm.
like Superman punch, but a forearm with the entire gravity behind it.
Sends JD McDonough to the fantasy realm, to the other world here, and somehow this wasn't it. He lays him out, and then the match is still continuing. I don't know how. And then they're starting to fight ringside when JD accidentally hits Dragon Lee, who's sitting next, and then dodges Ilja, and then Ilja accidentally hits him. So they're all kind of hitting each other. So Dragon Lee gets fed up. Welcome to WWE. So he starts beating both of them up, which causes a double disqualification, which then Wes comes out and hits us like tope cannonball to all of them and basically says, you know what, you two are in the match as well.
Normally I'd be like mad at a finish like this as with a match as good, but in a way I was grateful because this is a match that I feel should be on a premium live event.
Yeah.
And then when I found out it wasn't even main eventing tonight, I was like, man, I felt this way, left it open that after this 5-way at the pay-per-view, we can still have this singles and hopefully on with even more time and more of a definitive finish. I really liked it. When Walter Gunther moved up to the main roster, everyone was kind of concerned, like, are they going to change what's special about him? And they've done a great job with not. I think Ilja is someone who I would love to see on the main roster as he is like this, because no one is like him. And the way, like, some of his strikes look so deadly that I think it would be quite jarring to see on the main roster. It has a pretty cookie-cutter, formulaic form of wrestling and the way we see wrestling. His viciousness and everything is so unique. And I think if they don't, calm him down, I think he's very interesting.
Yeah, this was awesome. Easily one of the best NXT TV matches, and it still had a screwy finish, but would definitely cherry pick this and recommend people checking this out. But I'm happy both of them are getting the slot. We figured that last week, but we're happy that they'll both be featured. I would have been happy with this on the show, but being added to this match sounds like it could be absolutely bonkers with what's going on here. So,
and
really
I'm pleased actually that this one isn't a ladder match.
Yeah,
because I think you're going to get some incredible wrestling between the 5.
Yeah,
we had that. Was it Gargano, Adam Cole? Was it Ciampa, O'Reilly, and Cross or something like that? There was that 5-way, which was excellent. Yeah. It was some of your best people and Cross. Finn, was he in there? I think
maybe.
Yeah, and I feel this could be
Ilja in one of or was that the one with Bron a little while back?
There was Bron, Ilja, and JD.
Yeah, see, like again, the mix of these two, they go really well together. I really love this match and love the back and forth. So can't wait for that match. We'll see who the final person is added next week, maybe. We go to Carmelo Hayes and Trick. They go to see Bron Breakker. And they again say, look, we don't want none of that coexist stuff. We want none of that. We just want the best Bron and the best Melo. So let's face these two and get it over with. And it's good doing business with you. Bron's like, all right, we'll get the best. We'll get rid of these guys and it'll just be us.
I like how he's the Trick. Like, I know you're always up to something. I know you're being sneaky. Like, stop it.
Trick's like, no, just good doing business with you. It's fine. Yeah, they're kind of getting in his head a little bit.
Did you see Bron's Snickers commercial? AJ Styles.
AJ, yeah. He made me laugh. Both made me laugh.
Do you think both have a future in Hollywood? You want to leave some wrestling?
Never say never. AJ, no. AJ, no. No. He wouldn't do too good in the Hollywood community.
I could see AJ in a sitcom, as I know, the neurotic neighbor, and he's basically just AJ Styles' character.
Right. I could see Bron eventually. He's big. Be in big action movies, but we've seen him act in that Joe Gacy feud, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Didn't do him any favors, but yeah.
I don't know. They didn't make me want to buy a Snickers. So.
No. Yeah. No, they definitely didn't do that. Also, I never want to subscribe to Cricket phone, mobile, or whatever. Because WWE always do those. It's always Charlotte talking to the Cricket.
Yeah.
Like, hey, do you got good wireless?
We don't
even have Cricket in Canada, but,
If we did, we wouldn't have it.
Let me talk about how I don't have YouTube Premium. So whenever there's ads that stop me from watching things, I'll go out of my way to purposely not buy those things. Anyways, this podcast brought to you by Ricotta or some shit, probably. Yeah. Shout out. I love Ricotta now.
Ricotta?
Yeah, I used to hate it, but I love it now. What else is going on this show? We get we're talking about a career in commercials and Snickers and stuff. What about the commercial they aired here? This was the first time seeing this one in full for me.
Oh, the 40-year-old virgin?
Yeah, the Banger Bros, Drew, Sheamus, Pete Dunne, and Ridge doing the 40-year-old virgin, chest waxing scene, which was pretty funny. They did a good job of making it look like it was the actual movie, the way they were dressed.
I like Butch, who kept on like trying to get in to rip off some.
I love his because what it's Steve
Carell,
who's like Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah.
So here it's like Jim Duggan, Ed Sheeran.
You know, it was the Oscars the other week. I kept on thinking they were saying the Banshees of Ed Sheeran.
The Banshees of
Ed Sheeran. I was like, what's his Ed
I
Sheeran
heard it's a good
film?
movie.
Yeah, I like it's the director of 3 Billboards and in Bruges.
Oh,
Should be
okay.
good, yeah.
And it's got a donkey in it.
A donkey?
An Irish donkey. I love this commercial. This one might be my favorite
This
so
is the
far.
best one so far.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the Goodfellas one.
It hasn't fully come out
I
yet.
think that's coming out next week. This one was, the best so far.
We need an Austin one. Wrap. That's what they did at WrestleMania 21. They waited to air.
Gladiator.
That started the show with airing that
Well, I
one.
guess that's why it's Roman.
Yeah.
Unless there could be a secret one.
Gladiator 2.
They're
They're
announced
making
right?
that
Yeah.
movie, yeah.
With Stone Cold?
No.
With thing?
Yeah, with Thing.
Cool.
Wes Lee's backstage. He's talking about how there's one more spot left for his North American title match. When Axiom walks in and goes, "Hey, remember when I followed you for like that whole day and then never got the match? Like, what's up with that? Should I not be added to this match?" And which makes complete sense. And Wes goes, "Nah, instead, you'll get a shot next week in a battle royal,
Against
y'all.
19 other people.
20
like,
dudes."
Wes is being pretty heelish here. Dragon Lee hasn't even wrestled here yet. He just showed up in a nice shirt.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, man, you can have a match.
I want chaos.
JD and Ilja, like,
They're busy.
didn't even have a winner. They're
fighting.
feuding with each other. Why? Axiom's asked politely. He's asked politely for like 3 weeks now. Wes is like, man, you're just not fast enough. Other people want it too. Like Quincy Jones might want a shot.
Quincy Jones.
Quincy Elliott.
Yeah. So Axiom's got to fight.
Axiom's got to like turn heelish and beat Wes up.
I think Axiom wins the title.
Yeah.
At this point, if this is the story, he's got to do all this stuff for no reason. He's like, yo, what did these guys do to get this opportunity? What the hell, man?
Yeah.
Johnny Gargano music hits, but Johnny Gargano does not come out. Instead, it's Big Body Javi. Yes, don't adjust.
Kind
your
of
ears.
dressed like Gargano here.
He
Wearing a
looked like,
jacket and jeans and
yeah,
like budget
yeah.
Gargano.
He says, "You thought it was Johnny, didn't you?" Well, yeah, his music hit. "You were wrong." He says, "Now I am the heart and soul of NXT." He says, "How many Christmas albums did Johnny Gargano sell?" Exactly. Referring to his big hobby Christmas albums that may or may not exist. He then says, "Between us, me and Johnny are Triple Crown champions."
That was a good line.
Johnny's music hits for real this time. Now I've heard this remix twice in a row. I still don't like it.
So bad.
Do the work. No one's going to do it for you.
That's the best bit.
Johnny walks out just like just acting really upset. Doesn't do his entrance, doesn't, pander to the crowd. Walks right into the ring and just starts beating the hell out of Javi here. He throws him around the ring steps, throws him into the crowd and grabs a mic. And he says, "Grayson Waller, I know you're somewhere here, but you're just too scared to face me. You made things way too personal. So you want to do that? Well, I want to raise the stakes. April 1st, stand and deliver. I want you in a specific match, a match I know very well. I want no rules. I want unsanctioned match." And he pulls out a contract. He says, "I know that you're too scared to come answer this, but I want you to know no one is liable for what I do to you." So Waller shows up on the screen and starts talking to him, wearing a Candice LeRae t-shirt. And says like, "Oh, you want this thing? Well, I'll sign the contract, but I want you to give it to your pal Vic, and he can give it to me next week, and I'll sign it. But you cannot show up next week. If you do, the match is off. Won't sign it." So Johnny says, "Sure." So he gives this to Vic, and Vic says, "All right, I'll hold on to this, and Waller will sign it next week."
I like Johnny's aggression here. We hadn't really seen Johnny like this for quite a while.
He
Just
then
beating the fuck out of
Javi after the segment, like Javi then gets back into the ring and just eats a super kick,
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels style from Johnny. It's the little things with Johnny Gargano, Davey. We've been following the golden era of NXT. I'd say Mr. NXT is Johnny Gargano. Did you see what he was wearing? His little jacket or his hoodie or whatever his thing, his emblem was his normal emblem with the, his Johnny's logo is like the happy face thing or the whatever. It was the symbiote.
Oh.
So we've only seen Johnny rock the Venom because he's always Spider-Man, but when he gets pissed off, he becomes that Venom. So maybe we'll see the black suit Spidey at Stand and Deliver mixed in with Shawn Michaels.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Naturally.
I like this segment. I'm really looking forward to this match. I like Waller in ring, and I'd like to see him really step up and have a Johnny Gargano worthy takeover style match, and I think they could. And I wasn't hugely keen on the angle last week, but as we said in a kind of hype video for this match, I'm sure they'll cut it together pretty well. I thought this was a step forward. Both came across pretty well.
I like how Waller's using Javi as like a scapegoat here. He knows he'll go get beat up and stuff like that. So it was pretty good, and Javi was pretty funny, and Johnny super kicking him at the end made it justice. But I mean, clearly this is leading to, hey, your pal Vic is gonna give me this, and you're not supposed to be there. Vic,
is Vic getting beat up?
Vic, you're getting beat up.
Jesus.
Or does Johnny wait for him to sign it, then shows up to save him?
And super kicks.
Right.
Yeah, because Johnny hasn't really had the upper hand at all yet, has he?
No, he's winning the match though.
Yeah.
So. We see a video here, and it says, "There are more to us than you think. My heritage, my background, my lifestyle." And we see this guy in the woods. We see this like a dream catcher and feathers, and we see like a DJ in the woods. I don't know what was going on there, but it shows the Northern Lights essentially, and it's like this like edited video of like the guy looking up, and it says Eddie Thorpe coming to NXT next week.
Who's this again?
Who? Eddie Thorpe, formerly known as Carl Fredericks from New Japan Dojo, essentially.
Okay.
So Eddie Thorpe.
He's a Forest DJ.
We've seen a lot of characters.
Sorry,
here.
what's the name again?
Eddie Thorpe.
No, who was he?
Carl Fredericks.
Carl Fredericks, that's the one.
Yeah. So I guess he's going with some sort of gimmick with that, the Northern Lights or something.
He's native, is he?
Well, I would assume from
the dream catchers
vignette, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of down for that. That'd be pretty cool. Reminded what's A Tribe Called Red? There's this like they recently changed their name. Damien from Fucked Up is I think boys with them. They do a lot of their videos are like this where there's like a DJ in the woods and the music's blaring and things. So I got vibes of that.
I need the woods DJ with the crow lady and the witches just having a time.
Am I crazy?
Like
I thought this was
Eve, just like
I thought the first few seconds of this were for the witches. Yeah. DJ,
who else would fit in the witch rave? Witch woodland rave.
We got Eddie Thorpe DJing. Well, I mean
Joaquin
Phoenix. Yeah, we need to get him back. Yeah.
Phoenix, Joaquin Wild.
Joaquin Wild DJing TJZ. What other weird? The witches obviously hanging out in the woods. That fits.
Who else?
Vaughn and Kyle. They're out there.
You've got Oro Mensah, isn't he a DJ as well?
Yeah, he's a DJ.
He's doing the second set.
Yeah.
Could be a silent disco where
back to back.
Flick between
back to back.
Eddie Thorpe.
Yeah. That'd be pretty sick. I go to an NXT rave in the woods.
Yeah.
I mean,
Priest would be there.
Katana and Caden would be there.
They'd be there. Yeah, Damian Priest. Love
for sure.
He's
a vampire.
Rave. Yeah.
Exactly.
I want to go. When is
Book
this?
Book it. But
Next
Eddie
week?
Thorpe is wrestling next week. Yeah, so can't wait.
Okay.
Cool. Let's see. Can't wait. We then go to, was it more witches? No, it wasn't witches. We go to Ivy Nile, and she's backstage. She's being interviewed for her match later against Lyra. She says that she's a little upset with Tatum Paxley about how she turned on her last week. She says, I don't trust many people, but I decided to trust her, and well, I got burned. She says that I let her into Diamond Mind, and she wanted to do her own thing, and that was fine, but it seems that's over with now, and I'm going to have to get some revenge on some Tatum.
Yeah, she kind of says that we always saw her as part of Diamond Mine, because that's something that we've always been. Is Tatum actually a member of Diamond Mine or just hanging around? And she's, we always saw her as just a little out there.
Yeah, out there. Exactly.
I don't think Ivy sounds great on the, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think she really needs to improve on that. I like her in the ring. I think she does have a good look and a good presence, but this whole sort of the stuff with the creeds, I always thought didn't quite work, and this, I'm early days, but I'm not really sold.
Yeah.
From this.
Well, we go to Hank Walker, a video here where he's talking about how he's had a hell of a ride here in NXT thus far. He started off as a security guard. It shows footage of him being a rent-a-cop here. He's had his ups and downs. Just him explaining. It's like a Wonder Years segment.
This guy's had a bigger story arc than some wrestlers who have been there for like 13 years.
Yeah. He's like, I've been security. I've made new friends. Hell, I even got a mentor in Drew Gulak. I even got myself new gear, some boots, but in the end, I lost my mentor. He left me. He turned on me, but I guess that's just the way things goes. So I learned deep down that I don't need to change who I am. I'm perfect the way I am, and I'll be a great NXT superstar. And it kind of cuts from that video to Drew Gulak and Charlie Dempsey watching this video in their locker room. And Dempsey says, cute. And he still lacks that killer instinct. And Drew's like, yeah, he just doesn't have it.
It will never be more than just a really nice.
Charlie Dempsey still looks a lot like Butch.
Yeah. I quite like this sort of just recap of Hank's entire story.
Yeah.
Like, he's had a hell of a run so
Hell of
far
a
in
run.
NXT.
Hank.
And then the sort of, it was like a movie, like fade away from this to the villains like looking on and
The evil witch watching in the snow globe.
Wasn't it? It really was. These two villains like, mwahaha. No, he still hasn't got it.
I
My
think
pretties.
we're going to go to this match eventually again.
Well, it's got to be Drew and Hank.
Hank.
Yeah,
Dream
we've
match.
had Charlie, Hank.
Yeah. I like Charlie and Gulak together, though. They're being mean guys. We go to the Dojo Lady versus the Bird Lady. Ivy Nile versus Lyra Valkyria. We get some really good actual mat wrestling and kind of chain wrestling here. They keep trying to sweep each other's legs and go for different leg submissions and leg holds. I thought they meshed well together. They also start like using strikes, and they both roundhouse kick each other at the same time, knocking each other down. Ivy gains control and she starts hitting this like huge gut wrench suplexes, trying to get some near falls. Eventually, she's rolled through and Lyra hits her with a spinning roundhouse kick, just like the 1-2-3 kid. Kind of like Booker, kind of like Rico.
Yes,
that spin kick here and gets the 1-2-3, and she will fly to Los Angeles because she's now in the ladder match for the women's title.
Yeah, I think this is the right move as well. She kind of called her shot for the title a few weeks ago in a vignette, and I think there's more to go with Lyra being in the match. Yeah, I quite like this. I thought both looked really good against each other. Ivy, I hope this Tatum feud elevates her a bit, because I feel she's good, but she's been in this position for quite a while now. Whereas we're seeing some of the other girls kind of have title opportunities and being in main events, and then people who've just come in like a Lyra being into that position. So I wonder how long Ivy's just going to be floating around in this role, because I do think she's good.
Yeah, I think she's good wrestler wise, and so, you know, not seeing too much of Valkyria here, like she's definitely improved, and I definitely shows some depth of potential really, and seeing her in the ladder match could be pretty sweet. So yeah, she will be entered into the match, and they're still kind of saying that some other people will be in it too, including possibly, maybe. We just got a tweet from someone possibly listening. Shout out Too Real For You, who says Eddie Thorpe is a DJ in real life, so therefore he is allowed to be a DJ. Mensa's definitely got a bone to pick with him then, because we haven't seen that guy in forever on NXT. So the battle of the DJs here in NXT, I'm down with that actually. We go to Wes Lee backstage. Sorry, Fallon Henley backstage. She's walking and she's attacked. It looked like it was the like Shockmaster spark thing.
Right.
It was so not even on camera, just like this like spark bang, which then the witches attack Fallon here. They put the boots to her as they're laughing. But Kiana James runs in and saves her, and it's a giant pull apart. And then Kiana's with Fallon, and she's like, told you, I got you, I got you.
She says, please, like, leave it to me, wait for next Saturday, and I'll tell Brooke. We've got to get through this match. Please let me tell Brooke.
Like, hopefully he's still not watching.
Yeah. All right. My theory this week.
Okay.
I think, it's 2023. It's a hard world out there for single people. People date more than one people until you say, the E word, that we're exclusive.
Oh.
I think Kiana might have been seeing this Sebastian before she started seeing Brooks. I might have been double dating for a bit, but then that day she had dinner with, and that morning maybe she said, no, Sebastian, just with Brooks. But now Brooks is about to find out about Sebastian that she was seeing two times. But now she's all for Brooks. She wants to be exclusive.
And meanwhile, Fallon loves Brooks as well, maybe, possibly. I still want to...
What do you think? Do you think she's been cheating? Like, I
think Sebastian's code for Josh Briggs.
Yeah. Wow.
It was me.
Wow.
Boots him in the face.
Wow.
Cuts his mullet. Leonard Skinner sucks. Spits on him. That would be the ultimate. I would cry.
And they bought the bar somehow.
We own the bar now. Get out of here, you two. No, I don't want them to split up. But yeah, I'm still intrigued. Will we see an actual Sebastian?
Because she never denied it today. So I have a feeling there's maybe been a bit of overlap, which could hurt Brooks' feeling. But it's I don't know. I thought it was just dinner. I thought we were just going to Olive Garden. I actually fell for you.
Yeah, I still want to see Brooks end up with Fallon now.
Fallon.
Yeah. Need more of that. We go to Wes Lee backstage.
Duran in the chat says, I'm from Portland. Everyone's poly here, rooting for a throuple.
Yeah, that's fine.
Come on, this is the show you'd have it on.
In LA? They definitely know about that in LA. Thruples. I feel like you could do... We haven't seen a thruple in wrestling in a long time. Nydia and Jamie Noble definitely did some of that.
What about the Bashams? Is that a thruple?
Yeah.
That was kind of something else going on there.
Yeah, maybe.
Billy Chuck. No, it was Billy and Chuck. Rico wasn't.
No. But I'd be into that. Like, I do still see Kiana makes like a swerve. That's still like, no, I wasn't cheating on him at all. Like something along those lines. That's still like...
I think she genuinely likes Brooke. I do.
You're really invested in this story. This is... Do you watch soap operas too?
This is it. This is it.
Well, Wes is walking. I just need to talk about Wes walking down this damn hallway because he's like, who you got next week? And Wes is like, I don't know who I got next week. And then he walks. And then we see Jinder Mahal walk in and go, hey, Wes, I'll see you at Stand and Deliver.
Hey, Wes, I'm still in NXT.
And then turns around and walks off. And then Dijak, hey, don't forget about me. And then turns and walks off.
We're not finished yet.
And then Wes sees Daba Kato. Says, I'll see you at Stand and Deliver. Will we see the last dab at Stand and Deliver?
Axiom's eliminating Daba Kato at the end.
Yeah.
Or Apollo is still going to be mad.
Well, we know Axiom's good with numbers, so he'll be okay with 19 other men in the ring. Yeah. I thought this was so video game-esque. Like, this felt like Here Comes the Pain, where your guy walks past them in the back.
It was.
It's like, then the Jinder just robotically turns away and walks off.
It needed a comedy person for the last one, like Babatunde, and then, I don't know, Indi.
Yeah, sure. Well, you want comedy? Is that what you want in wrestling?
No.
Okay,
Why?
well then let's talk about the Great Debate.
Oh my word, this happened. Yeah.
We go to the Great Debate. We see this debate master, this guy named Blake Howard.
Yeah, they said new NXT correspondent, so maybe
Nice.
We'll see more of Blake.
Shut
Howard.
up, Blake. He's got like the two tables with the Schism, and then with Chase U, and then like each side has like students in
or
red, and
followers.
then the Schism people in black with the happy faces and stuff. So the Schism and Andre Chase University, they're gonna battle here, and that's when we get them debating. The Schism start off here. It's what's his face, Mick Jagger.
Jagger Reed. Rip Fowler starts.
Rip Fowler is
Rip Fowler.
the bald one.
Which one's Zach?
Rip? Which one's Rip? What's
What?
what's the FTR? Which one's Dash? Which one's Dawson?
Which one's Dawson?
Yeah, you can do the same thing. Which one's Rip?
Which one's Fowler? Which one's Jagger?
Get your shoes off for Fowler.
Yeah, because it's Jagger. This is how I remember it.
Yeah, please tell me.
Jagger Reed is James Drake. So J and J, J and J. So if you remember that, the other one is Rip Fowler. So Zach Gibson's Rip Fowler. And also Elton Prince is the blonde one. Elton John is kind of blonde, I guess, sort of. If you just say that, like Elton John's kind of blonde, sort of, you go Elton Prince is the blonde.
Right. You made it more complicated. They're not even in this segment.
No. But you asked me earlier. You asked me every time.
I don't know which one. I couldn't. If a gun to my head, you said which one.
Well, which one's Elton Prince?
The blonde one.
Yeah, there we go. You see? And why is it?
Because Elton John's blonde.
Kind of, yeah.
It worked. You should be a teacher. Okay, the great debate. I don't want to talk about this. So, Rip Fowler. You know how I know it's Rip Fowler? Because he always got the foul look on his face.
Yeah.
He talks. He says, "Togetherness has been the schism. That's what it's all about. We remove our masks and prosper together." And he says, "We offered you in with open arms, Duke, but you didn't accept. So like, what's up with that?" Duke replies, but he's not like really wanting to debate here. He's like, "Yeah, it's nice, I guess. I don't know, inclusion, fine." Talking exactly like that, and he's like, I just like, you know, Chase you, whatever." And then sits down, and like Andre, Chase, and Thea are like, "Dude, like, what kind of debate was that? You didn't say anything."
Choked.
Ava and Thea are up next, and Ava says, "This world is harsh, yada, yada, yada. The schism blocks all this out, and we're free and beyond." And Thea then hypes up and says, "Webster's dictionary says safety, protection," and goes off and off about how the schism claims safety, but they brainwash their students. They're hazardous to this NXT, and the crowd cheer for Thea because she was all like scrappy Duke here.
She does her whole like Tyler Bate meditation thing, breathe in first, and then just lets rip.
So the crowd are on their side now, and then it's Gacy and Andre who have to debate here, and that's when they're talking, and Gacy interrupts Andre Chase and just starts spewing like schismisms. When Tyler Bate, excuse me, I'll objectively have to say something here, and he jumps in and then just articulately explains that Chase U is great. He says, there's the physical prowess. He says there's the big, strong mind. That's what it really means to be a superstar. Andre Chase has the willingness to learn, and this like epic music starts to swirl and get crazy, like epic music from a movie or something, as he's just going off about growth and evolution. And he challenges the Schism to a match, and it's going to be 4-on-4 match with Tyler Bate helping out Chase University.
So it's intergender 4-on-4.
Yeah.
With Ava Rain and Thea here.
And
or
then
is this a 6-man?
Yeah. And then they say, "No, we're not interested. We've already beat you." And Duke Hudson steps in. The first thing he said pretty much all show here, "We'll put the school on the line." Mm-hmm. And Andre's like, whoa, 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 whoa. What are you talking about? And the Schism accept, because if the Schism win, they gain control. They'll call it Schism U.
Schism U.
So this match is now set with Tyler Bate stepping in to help Chase University. Russell, he's doing exactly what it is. He's the Russell Brand gimmick now. Like let me quickly articulate and say a bunch of fast words, really nice and fancy. Maybe you'll think I know what I'm talking about. Is what this whole segment really was. You know what? The match could be a lot of fun. I said they should be on the pay-per-view. Andre Chase University.
I think it would be a pretty fun match. Again, weird way to go about booking a match. But I guess it has kind of furthered the Duke's loyalty thing. Do you see him costing them and joining the Schism? Because that's the thing they brought up. It's like, we offered you a mask or something. And you went like, "Oh yeah, you did." Like, and deep down, like, this Duke Hudson character is just really quite sad, isn't it? All he wants to do is like belong, he wanted to try and have his poker friends, and then he tried to start a relationship. He got fired, and then he found this school and he's part of it, but maybe things aren't going the way he thought he would in this family, and now this other family are reaching out to him. He just wants to belong.
Yeah, so why did I need to watch this segment then? I really hated this. I love Andre Chase University. I actually like Joe Gacy. The Schism stuff definitely is not for me, but I like what Joe Gacy can do, but this was just way too silly for me.
I think especially when you had the bar segment earlier, I could have taken one or the other tonight and been okay, but setting up 2 matches on your like biggest show of the year essentially. In one is because we played pool, the other is because we had a debate. It's not how I like my matches set up.
Yeah, the comedy wasn't hitting necessarily.
You know what I like? I just like a graphic to be shown on the screen with
dream match,
no context, and just telling me it's a dream match.
Yeah, that's the way I like it.
Yeah.
No, I'm actually like, hey, put this on the show, sure. If it's on the pre-show, on the actual pay-per-view, whatever, but that's fine. It's just this segment was just so silly, a bit too much for me. But we'll see the match. Maybe Duke does turn and cost them the school. We'll get it more like emo Schism University kind of thing going than the red. Yes. Well, we already mentioned the bar because it went from that to the end finish segment of that bar segment, which is like just enough of this.
Yeah.
Different places. The segment was like trying to go. There's a Community episode about like debate. There's always like a sitcom about schools with debates and stuff. Like it was trying to go for that, but just didn't hit. Main event time. The tag team match playa. It's Pretty Deadly taking on Bron Breakker and Carmelo Hayes. Can they coexist? We have Mello in right away, just starting to beat down on both members of Pretty Deadly. He's making light work of them. Finally, they double team and tag in and out, and they hit him with a huge flapjack and start beating him down. Eventually, Braun comes in to even the score, and they hit this really sweet-looking double team. You know Mello does that flying springboard clothesline, just so good, like almost like the Mark Jindrak style. Braun launches him. They do some dirty dancing where Braun takes him, spins him around. This is what Colossus and Wolverine essentially here, where he launches him, lawn darts him as he takes out both members of them in the ring. This was awesome. They replayed this a few times. Then they come back from commercial, and Pretty Deadly are trying to beat down on Braun here. Eventually, Mello's tagged in, and he's beating them both up. He's fighting them both again, and then hits this crazy-looking snap, slingshot, German spider suplex in between the ropes. I've never seen this before, but very impressive as he tries to pin both of them. But then Pretty Deadly start to beat down on Mello and not letting him tag Braun in here as they keep isolating him. They hit a standing event Omega leg drop splash combo for a near fall. They hit like the lift up alley-oop out of the corners, just slamming him down here. But eventually Mello leaps, makes the hot tag to Braun. Well, not too hot. The CWC still don't really like Braun too much. Braun hits a series of like huge German suplexes and clotheslines. And then
the speed he runs the ropes is pretty impressive.
He's like a speedy little dog, this
quick.
guy. He runs to go to spear hit, I think, and he misses, but almost spears Mello in the corner. And Mello's like, whoa, watch what you're doing. Mello then jumps and hits a code breaker to Kit, which then Braun runs the ropes, spears him out of his damn boots, and then tags Mello back in and says, he's all yours. And allows Mello to hit the nothing but net and gets the 1, 2, 3. And they did coexist here tonight.
That was the twist.
They did.
They did. In kind of made it a little less dramatic in a way. I thought this was a fine main event, but there wasn't really the drama there for me because you've got there was no way Mello and Bron were losing to Pretty Deadly, and you're flirting with that they coexist thing, so you just didn't do anything. It was just a bit like it felt more of an exhibition, whereas I think I'd have finished with the Ilja JD and kind of changed your setup for that match. Maybe I didn't feel this made me any more interested in the main event, which I thought they did a really good job last week.
I was expecting a turn from Mello, just beating up Braun and being like, nah.
Or at least Trick doing some. Trick was taking notes. Like
he was. He had a notepad and he was John Pollocking it.
You could have maybe had Trick try to do something and Mello like, no, don't do anything. They both want each other out.
Right. Yeah.
I know it was fine.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. You knew they were going to beat Pretty Deadly. It wasn't anything too special. But this episode, as per usual, a kind of a mixed bag. I mean, if you wanted some wrestling, you definitely got it with Dragunov and JD because that was a clinic there. Definitely the highlight of this show. But I enjoyed Johnny's promo with the bit with Javi, with him just beating him up. I enjoyed Tiffany and Indi as well. But some lowlights for me was the bar segment and the debate.
Yeah, I agree. I think Standard Delivers looking in pretty good shape. I think the card looks pretty good. Looking forward to it. Just I thought it was pretty lazy how they set up those.
Stand and Deliver is pretty much WrestleMania 16. It's got all multi-man matches except
How
two.
many
Right?
are there?
All right, so Johnny and Grayson, which we imagine is an unsanctioned match. Bron Breakker and Carmelo Hayes, which is obviously the main event. Zoe Stark versus Gigi versus Tiffany versus Lyra versus to be determined. So I think they're still adding someone in the match next week, unless they're just saving that for Roxy. Fallon and Kiana versus Alba Fire and Isla Dawn tag match. Wes, Dragon Lee, JD, Ilja, and we would imagine Axiom. That's 5 people. Gallus versus Creeds versus the family.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people. 6 people. Chase U, meaning Andre, Duke, and Thea versus Tyler Bate. Oh, sorry. And Tyler Bate.
Yeah.
That's another 8 people. That's a lot of multi-man
Is that
matches.
the whole thing?
Yeah.
So 7 matches, which I believe is the most we've had on an NXT show since like the Full Sail. I think.
Usually it's 5 or 6, right?
Yeah,
I mean 5 for takeovers.
I don't think we've had 7 for a long
Wow.
time. Whether they put one of these on the pre-show, I could certainly see that Schism Chase U match maybe being put on for the main show.
Yeah.
But also just why, if it's all on the network anyway, might as well just put it all on one thing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the show sounds pretty good. I'm really excited for Waller, Gargano, and him
The
versus
two
Braun.
main events sound.
But
And
I
I
feel
think the undercard has enough good people in there where they should be. That 5-man should be.
absolutely crazy. There'll be spots in that match that was from things we've never seen before for sure. So I am excited for Stand and Deliver. It's going to be a lot of wrestling next week because that's on Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern time, meaning that's got to be early for the people in California there.
yeah.
But they're going to have a long ass day because then there's like that. There's all
like
the
a
other stuff going
10
on.
a.m. show or something. Isn't
Wow. Well, it's Eastern time for us. We will be going live right after on the post feed. So we'll have a long day of wrestling, a whole weekend of wrestling. But yeah, that was NXT. That's what we thought.
I'm going to NXT at 11 in the morning.
What do you even do? Like have a coffee?
You just get up, have your breakfast.
Excuse me, do you have
Mimosas.
breakfast burritos here at the venue for $21
Yeah.
US? Yeah. Let's go to some feedback here. Join the Poisonrana Facebook group. I'd say join it because we share memes and funny things and all nice and feedback, such as this from Sean McTeer, who writes in, NXT put on a good show tonight as they continue to build to Stand and Deliver. The thing that really struck me as I watched the show is that, with the exception of the bloodline-related matches, NXT has done a much better job getting me invested in Stand and Deliver than Raw and SmackDown has done for Mania. I look up and down the card, and every single match that has been announced so far has some kind of storyline. Whether long-term or short-term, behind it all, the matchups make sense. Even something as nutty as the Chase U Schism 8-man looks to pay off several storylines while adding real stakes to the outcome. Real stakes for a fake university. But I know what you mean.
He has a point, though. Like, it's as ridiculous as it is. This is that has been built for weeks.
Yeah.
What has Asuka and Bianca done?
Right.
It's I just dribble goo. That's the story.
Yeah.
I won a chamber match and I dribble goo.
Sean continues, the women's title match in particular has definitely navigated Roxanne's injury, whether real or a work, while building a showcase for their top female talent. I'm definitely looking forward to next week's Go Home show and the Stand and Deliver on Saturday. I mean, we're pretty clear this is Roxy coming back for this match. Not stripping the title is definitely alludes
It's
that.
whether they add a 5th person next week and then Roxanne's a surprise 6th on the day.
Exactly.
Is what I see. We go to Magan, who says, so many multi-person matches. NXT is throwing everything but the kitchen sink for Stand and Deliver. Dragunov JD was match of the night, despite the non-finish. However, Dragon Lee joining the North American title 5-way is a good choice. Gargano making his grudge match with Waller unsanctioned is going to be nuts. Melo versus Bron continues to build swimmingly, and I'm very interested to see Melo potentially work babyface long-term. I bet he's got some tricks he's yet to pull off. The Go Home is being taped tonight. I think so. There could be a resolution to Roxanne's status. It's too soon to take the title off. I see Roxanne being a surprise pop at the Premium Live event. I think you get your 5 people, match is about to start, and then Roxy's music hit. Wait.
Sorry, so they did film the second one already?
They're filming it now, I guess.
Or
Finished
tomorrow.
now.
Yeah, they probably have, if that's the case.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Well, yeah. I think Roxanne shows up night of, and
Yeah, I don't see her coming back next week.
Tiffany still wins it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So next week we got a battle royale. We got, I'm sure, a last face-to-face between Bron and Melo somehow, some way. Maybe a prime target type thing. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Stand and Deliver, though.
Yeah,
it's definitely
I
one of
think
the more hyped ones going forward. And Dragon Lee and all that stuff. It's got some good hype. So we will be back next Tuesday night for the Go Home show for Stand and Deliver. We'll be definitely giving all our predictions and chat about that leading into Saturday for that show. This Sunday, we won't be going live at 2 p.m. because during the day, we're going to be at the awesome toy show with the 2K tournament. So probably Sunday night at some time, we might go live or record a show.
Something about like our experience there and kind of run through some of the things in the Go Home week.
Yeah, and plus we want to chat about Vikingo and Kenny from tomorrow night.
100%,
So
yeah.
we'll have lots of stuff to chat about sometime Sunday. So again, follow Poisonrana on all that stuff. Poisonrana.ca for all the links to our podcast, our Patreon, tickets for our WrestleMania watch party in Toronto. All the links are there, Poisonrana.ca. If you like us, give us a like, give us a nice little rating, Apple Podcast, whatever app you use. Hit that like, RT. It goes a long way. We thank you so much for listening to us here. We hope you're excited as the road to WrestleMania weekend is in full swing here with just less than 2 weeks away. So this is when wrestling fans can get all excited.
Rejoice.
Play the weekend. Play some Flo Rida, Green Light. That's the Mariah Carey to WrestleMania.
Play some Pitbull.
Yeah,
play
that's
some
what.
Limp Bizkit.
Yeah. Oh, I was today. Yeah. So get all in the moods and get in the zones, and you know where to find us for all the stuff at Poisonrana Pod, Twitter, Instagram, and I myself, Braden Herrington. You can find me Twitter, Instagram at the Brady.
And you can find me at Davie Portman.
That's it. That's all. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe, and let's go play some darts.
Ahoy!
Poisonrana.